Welcome to The Beam, where curiosity stirs conversations, taking us a step further into the future we desire. Here, we bring you the issues that matter, the voices that challenge, and the insights that inspired. I'm Sunas Nathaniel, and now, before we get right into today's powerful conversation, let's bring you a special report on one of the most pressing issues in our digital age: online security, protecting the Nigerian child in the digital age. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It promises to be highly engaging. From classrooms to living rooms, smartphones to social media, Nigerian children are growing up in a world their parents could barely imagine. In this digital age, the internet isn't just a tool, it's a playground, a teacher, a window, and sometimes a trap. As connectivity spreads, so does the consequences of connectivity. For millions of children, the digital world offers knowledge, connection, creativity, but it also portends grave dangers.
50 over 60. Okay.
Nevertheless, the Nigerian Communications Commission's Child Online Safety Index report indicates that the average Nigerian child spends between 3 and 10 hours daily in front of a screen. The survey uncovered that 85% of urban 11 to 16-year-olds browse and chat on social network sites every day, while 90% of the 4 to 16-year-olds across the country have been exposed at least once to one or more of the rampant cyber risk, especially sexual content. The NCC research also shows that 20.8% of the children within the ages of 12 and 16 have either been bullied or have bullied someone online. The survey revealed that no conversation happens between parents and 50% of the 11 to 16-year-old children about their activities online, while 30% of the 11 to 16-year-old children said no teacher had ever talked to them about what they do on the internet.
Basically, I use it for assignments, connecting with friends, or watching movies. The good side of the internet is it's very educational and you can connect with people on it. The bad side is it could lead to stalking or cyberbullying, which is very bad for people or students.
Actually, I find cyberbullying online uncomfortable. Like, I scroll online and I see stuff like fat shaming and calling girls names, and I find it very uncomfortable. But I usually interact with my friends about that. I talk with them mostly about what I do online.
I feel like children should naturally be up to age before you can give them phones, particularly because my kids, I don't give them phones. Parents really have to do better. You really have to watch the kids, what they watch, at all times. You really have to watch them.
We are very keen on their internet security. One of the major is this: we can create a platform where one or two teachers is not part of that platform to guide what they do.
We understand the importance of digitalization. That is why we work assiduously in ensuring that our students are taught properly and they know how to use the modern technological tools properly to advance their academics.
Between the NCC and the National Information Technology Development Agency, there are policies on protecting children online. However, the federal government is working on introducing the Child Online Access Protection Bill, aimed at making the country one of the safest digital environments for minors. The document, though, is still in the works since 2023. In November 2008, the International Telecoms Union established the Child Online Protection, an instrument for every member state to adopt to promote online safety of children around the world. Though it's been revised as of July 2020, Nigeria is yet to develop a localized version. However, the NCC adopted the EU Agency for Law Enforcement Cooperation document on online safety to develop its own document.
There's one thing with screen time psychologically that affects their mental health, which is instant gratification. When we talk about screens, they are used to this lifestyle of having to look through pictures, images, colors, and then the brain works at a very fast pace. They eventually can't retain or hold back those things. And that's because psychologically they've been used to an instant thing. So it's happening on the screen. I am doing it physically. So it is either it's happening now and I am doing it or nothing. Also, you want to foster open communication. Learn to always not to shut them out, even when they try to express themselves. So that way, they feel more comfortable, they feel more safe around you.
The internet isn't going away. And for children in Nigeria, the challenge is no longer just access, but balance, protection, and empowerment. As a society, we must ask ourselves not just how connected our children are, but how safe, supported, and informed they are too. Because in this digital world, their well-being is just a click away from being uplifted or undermined. Welcome back. Today's episode brings us to the crucial interrogation: renewed hope or recycled promises, when will youth and the communities feel Tinubu's full impact? Joining me are two guests who represent, different ends of the dialogue, but who in their own right have stirred national conversations. Aliyu Audu is the first one, and is an APC chieftain and senior special assistant to the president on public affairs. And then we have Elvis Akwobi, a youth advocate, social developer, and executive director of the Not Too Young to Lead initiative. Gentlemen, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right. All right, let's get right into it. We want to answer the most crucial question in this very short time. Mr. Audu, I'll start with you. Let's begin with you. It's 2 years in. What tangible impact can young Nigerians point to and say, yes, this is the renewed hope? This is what renewed hope looks like.
We must appreciate the fact that we have a president who has finally been able to get rid of the biggest problem we've had in our economy, which is subsidy. And there are a lot of goods that have come as a result of that. We have PMS being refined in the country now. Importation of refined products is down to about 23%. A lot of money has been saved. More money go to subnationals. We have, some more money for infrastructure, for health, for education. For the first time, nearly 700,000 Nigerian students across tertiary institutions, have access to education loan. That's huge, and just recently we have a technical, students, being promised 45,000 stipends every month. We're getting close to, the making of a developed nation, and it's big, and it's a lot of good, we shouldn't just look at the impact. Yes, it's got some serious impact on our standard of living. It's been hard, not just for any particular class of people. And I must say, for the first time in our national life, we're going through a rebuild process that affects everybody. The rich are complaining, not just the poor, not just the middle class. Everybody's, big men, poor men, regular people, everybody's complaining about the state of the economy. It means something, it's working. Basically, if we appreciate that there's no free meal anywhere in the world, not even in Freetown, it's that if we want a country that works for everybody, then we are all going to have to work to make it, work for us. And it's going to come with a bit of temporary pain. Some people have dubbed it T-pain. Yeah, temporary pain. But, no pain, no glory. That's what it says. If we want to succeed, it's like you've got to go to school. You've got to stay up, read. You've got to put in the work. Right. As a nation, collectively putting in the work. And I'm confident, that we're going to get through this. Singapore went through this. India went through this. And we're going through it. And I'm pleased that we're in the right direction. The indices are showing it hasn't quite translated into personal lives yet, but it's coming there.
All right. I will come back to you because we need to really speak about, subsidy when you have raised it up. But let me go to Mr. Akwobi right now. Mr. Akwobi, you engage youths at the grassroots, and then the question becomes, is the renewed hope a reality that they feel, or is it just a slogan that people are tired of hearing? What do you feel at the grassroots level?
Okay, from actually they say the at home. So from what I see back here in Delta State, for me, I always say the renewed hope is my slogan, owing to the fact that back in my state, Delta State was navigating on really hope for more agenda, which is basically on creating policies that favor young people. I've always said that we cannot bend Nigeria into the people one, but can bend the size of it. An exception, the president subscribed to the inclusion of young people. We have young minister, the minister for youth, we have the minister for interior, who are doing very, very well. But for like Oliver Twist, there is need for more persons to be kept put on board, and for them put them on board, give them the privilege to navigate when they bring, because them alone know what it feels like in the streets. So when they bring their memos, when they bring their initiatives, they should get that over. Back in Delta State, I always want to give reference to Delta State. We're blessed with a governor who understands the cause of young people. And as a youth advocate, I've always advocated that we do give young people with capacity, character, and competence to, proper solutions to the problems of young people who make up a large mass of the populace. Yeah, and today we have the cabinet of Delta State today is just half of the executives being young people who are making policies for the country. But the thing is, another thing that is key again is oftentimes we talk about these young persons. We need to bring in young persons on board, the work of young persons. How many of these young persons are taking advantage of these policies, these opportunities given to them? That's what we should look at. I mean, the recruitment of these young persons, you can't just pick one person. Just like the president, how the ministers were recruited, I don't know, but I can say I'm confident in the minister of youth and the minister of interior, who are the young people doing their actions and inactions. I think we open up for more young people.
All right.
And that thing, we're playing with unemployment. We're playing with unemployment across board as a nation. And I think it's time the president look through that and do the right thing and make policies that will reduce the cost of unemployment in Nigeria.
Yeah, but is it in just a few seconds? Are you then saying how would you score? That's Mr. Akwobi. How would you score this government in just a few seconds before we get on break? How would you score this government in your own assessment?
In my own assessment, I'll score the government. Like I said, one administration cannot just change things overnight in Nigeria. The president has started. I'll score the government 70%.
Okay.
At the same back in my state, I'll score my governor 80% because young people, through right honorable people, have a fair share of governance.
All right. When we return from this break, we're going to be investigating some of those, scorecards, because we want to know why is it that some of the things that we see and hear of in the media, why is it that we don't see them translate to the ordinary citizen on the street? Why is it not happening just yet? We'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I'm in conversation with Mr. Aliu Audu and Elvis Akwobi, and we're dissecting whether this administration's promises have found their way, to the hearts and homes and to the hopes of the Nigerian people, especially the youths. Let's continue with you, Mr. Audu, because it's very important that we go straight into the heart of this discussion. When do we see the full weight of the President Tinubu's legacy? When do we see the full weight of what the government is doing? When does it translate to the 22-year-old boy who in that local government does not have a job right now? When does that translate into all that we have been saying, basically?
Okay, now I will indulge us to understand certain processes in terms of nation building or a nation moving from underdevelopment to, to being developed. We have examples across the world. Usually it takes average of 25 years, Singapore, 50 years for India, and a couple of others. But we are Nigerians. We're different. It doesn't have to take that long. And I'll speak for my party in power, the APC. We've been in power for 10 years now, and as much as I know for 16 years of PDP, they did a terrible job, but it's our past. We have to own it. It's our collective past. We have to own it, because at the end of the day, every single party, every single individual leaders who have led this country, however well we want to rate their performance, we're still together. We're still, we're building nationhood, and it's been 25 years of uninterrupted democracy. I honestly think that in another 4 to 6 years, a lot of jobs will be created. Now, Mr. President recently just, launched the Nigerian Credit Guarantees Scheme, the one that he's appointed His Excellency, Right Honorable Dogara, former Speaker of the Green Chamber, to chair. And with an initial startup fund of 100 billion, what this does is improve the spend power of the average Nigeria. The cost of living isn't just about the price of goods in the market. It's about the purchasing power of the citizen. If the purchasing power of the citizens is raised, then life gets better. If jobs are created, life gets better. If we are able to put corruption to the barest minimum, if we are able to shame corrupt people, if we are able to remove corruption from our identity, we don't want to go around the world and people look at us like, oh, that's the people, those are the people from corrupt nation. We don't want that. It's dragged us back enough. It's embarrassed our citizens enough. We need to make it a deliberate thing to shun corruption and to discourage corruption and to shame people who are corrupt, shame their family, shame their lineage. Like the late Dora Akunyili said, when people who are corrupt actually practice corruption, they destroy themselves and they destroy their children and they destroy the society. When we do this, the money people steal will be available for jobs, will be available for creation. And we are not going to have a developed nation without working. This work has to be available, and when they are available, more people will be occupied. And when more people are occupied, purchase power increases, production increases, consumption increases, and life improves. That is the natural phenomenon. That is the process. But the unfortunate thing that we have done over the years, over the decades, as a matter of fact, is taking a huge sum of money that should move around in the economy. This for the corrupt leaders particularly. Money is not to be kept under the table or in banks. Money, it's just a medium of exchange. A million naira in the money sitting in one place is not the same as a million naira that has exchanged 10 hands by the end of the day. So we have leaders who have money stashed away that their 10th generation won't even spend.
Right.
It's crazy. Crazy.
And let me hold you there and go to Mr. Elvis, because what you're talking about borders on credibility. Now, this government has to get that full credibility with all of Nigerians, especially the young people who make up, the large number of the population. The question is, what can the president do in the next 2 years to make sure he gets the buy-in of the entire Nigerians, and especially the youthful population? What can he do in the next 2 years?
For me, to make progress, we need to build the president needs to build trust with his reforms and initiative. Just like the 100 billion loan initiative for SMEs and all that, that we get to the most commonest of citizens in Nigeria. If the selective process of that credit stuff is done properly and without, it is done devoid of ethnicity, devoid of social strata, devoid of, for me, the average person doesn't look to me that maybe know anybody. to access such loan. If it's done properly, you'll be building trust. And when young people see this thing, they have confidence in the fact that fine, we have a government who listens to us, we have a government who seems to be navigating towards giving us hope, like we say, renew hope. I'll give you an example. Back in Delta State, there's a project called DCARE. DCARE programs have, empowered more than 5,000 young Deltas who are who are entrepreneurs, who are into SMEs and all that. And most of these beneficiaries, they don't know anybody. All you need to do is go to the social platforms, apply, and you'll get it. So that's a lot of this confidence among the young persons in Delta State and the current government led by Vice President of in the next few months, they are working on a project already that will send 1,000 young Deltans on ICT through the UNDP project. And those people will be selected devoid of ethnicity, devoid of whether you know one person. You don't need to know anybody. You don't need to even have the right surname to access that. So when you build confidence with policies like this, and people know that the selection process is, free and fair, you'll be building confidence with the young people. And when you build confidence with them, you find out that whatever policies you bet, they want to subscribe to it. And before you see development into what across the world. And I'm looking forward to the president doing that. And we'll all be fine.
All right. Mr. Aliu, let's just give you 30 seconds. What will be your final word on this discussion, Mr. Aliu? In just 30 seconds.
Right.
Yes.
I think, getting the nation to where we need to be is a collective responsibility, not just on the president, but on the citizen. We need to deliberately invest in our tomorrow, not just in the economy, but equally in the politics. A lot of happenings in Nigerian politics right now that are not good for the future of Nigeria. You see people moving from wherever they are. The democracy has to be healthily competitive.
All right.
I'll say this. The sealing of the PDP secretariat is undemocratic, it's immoral, and it's absurd. And the suspension of the senator representing Kogi Central is undemocratic and absurd. The judiciary, the court have said it time and time again that the National Assembly, the leaders of National Assembly do not have the constitutional right to suspend any constituency from representation.
All right.
I am from that. And what that means,
Mr. Ali, we have to go now. You brought in a different dimension. I wish we had time for all of it.
Country for that reason, and that has to be revisited. For 88 days, Kogi Central has been suspended from Nigeria because our representative at the Red Chamber has been.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Aliu. I think your points have been made very clear. Thank you very much, Aliu Aldu, Elvis Akpobi. Thank you for joining us and sharing your perspectives, both rooted in service, and they're challenging us. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
All right. Yes, friends, politics is more than promise. It's the fulfillment of trust in a country where youths carry the burden of tomorrow while they're struggling to survive today. Hope must be more than just a campaign slogan. It must be very tangible. And that's it on The Beam today. We'll be leaving you with our top 5 videos of the week. I'm Soonest Nathaniel, and as always, we urge you, stay curious, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep beaming your light where it matters most. May Nigeria continue to rise and flourish. Bye for now. Fifth on our list this week is a clip in which we see how the renewed attacks in Taraba left over 30 residents dead and many injured. In fourth place, President Bola Tinubu warns against encroachments on setbacks as the nation continues the constructions of coastal roads.
The motorists and residents alike are hereby encouraged to utilize this opportunity very effectively and well.
Coming third on our list, Governor Sanwo-Olu commissions 442 new homes in Surulere, Lagos State. In second place, ex-lawmaker Mojid Dahiru asserts that the PDP's current crisis is caused by the failure to zone during 2023 elections.
Our most viewed video this week is a clip from Political Paradigm where politician Tanko Yunusa declares that Mr. Peter Obi will get a block vote from the southern and eastern states come 2027.
These are coalition of individual candidates who believe that Nigeria needs to be rescued. So until you connect with each other and understand the basics of why me and you are discussing, then we will talk further.
That's it on our countdown today. Join us next week for more.